Alright, here we go. Episode 3 of this Throwback RAW review to the start of the PG era. This was the go-home show to the Royal Rumble 2008. Thought we had 2 more episodes, but this is the final episode to the Royal Rumble. So, we got a go-home show. So, these are not going to be too fun to sit through and watch, and this one was not. And actually, it turns out this was the first ever episode Raw was presented in HD. So the first matchup ever in HD is Shawn Michaels versus Mr. Kennedy. We talked about this last episode. We knew this match was going to happen. This was the best match on the show. This is the only match worth watching. A great match. I loved how Kennedy kept ducking the drop kicks, or the super kicks. I mean, he had one. His match would have been over quick. Kennedy ducked out, rolled under the ropes. Then fucking Shawn Michaels just jumps right over the top ropes onto him, which I thought was pretty cool. Next time he does it, ducks the drop kick, super kick, and I don't know why I keep saying drop kick. Ducks the super kick. And then they go into the submission hold, and Mr. Kennedy kind of pushes Shawn Michaels off of. Shawn Michaels falls, hits a kip up. Here comes Mr. Kennedy, boom, super kick, and it was over. So this was the best match on the show, and it was the first match. How are you going to tell me in 2 hours you have one good match? That's like the Raw shit nowadays. They have 3 fucking hours, and there's one match, or there's one segment that anybody would give a fuck about. So, we had Mickie James versus Beth Phoenix. The best match that I've seen since doing these Throwback Raw reviews. Beth Phoenix wins with another one of those fisherman's driver suplex. So that's really all to note there on that one. We had Finlay and Hornswoggle versus the Highlanders. Like I said on the first episode, the Highlanders fucking suck. Finlay dominates the match and gets a quick victory. Nothing. I mean, it was just quick. These other 2 matches were really fucking quick. Jericho comes out and talks about how JBL almost ruined his career. Talks about how he was sitting at home with his children and how JBL said all that stuff last week. It was good. I really am looking forward to the match at the Royal Rumble, so that's going to be interesting to see. We had Umaga versus Brian Kendrick. See how this is going quick? That's how the show was, but with all boring matches. We had Umaga versus Brian Kendrick. What was that? Brian Kendrick was trying to get a spot on the Royal Rumble. He couldn't because he faced Umaga, and Umaga beat him in like 2 minutes. We're 2 minutes into it, and we're almost done with the whole fucking show. So we had Hardcore Holly versus Carlito. From what I've seen, they're not doing anything with the tag team division. We've had Carlito and Hardcore Holly face twice in 3 episodes. No tag team matches between the tag team champions, which are Hardcore Holly and Cody Rhodes. The only other tag team is the Highlanders. They fucking suck, so I hope they don't have a match against them. They have Carlito and Santino Marella, which they're just doing singles matches between the 2. So, really, what is the tag team division? Oh, Brian Kendrick and Paul London's injured. Then Trevor Murdoch and Lance Cade. Lance Cade's injured, so they have nothing in the tag team division. So, hopefully it picks up soon. I mean, I would like to see Hardcore Holly wrestle more in a tag team match, because Hardcore Holly is great, but these matches right here are fucking boring. But Carlito does get the win after Santino Marella distracts Cody Rhodes. Carlito hits the backstabber. So it's 1-1 between the 2, I guess, now. So now we get into the Triple H match where he is trying to get into the Royal Rumble after what he did last week when he just threw the sledgehammer into the projector screen Titantron, which I told you guys looked kind of cheesy. It really did. They should have had glass, and it would have made a big bustive explosion of glass. It just looked a whole lot better. Over the top rope gauntlet match. Triple H comes out and William Regal says it's not 1 opponent, you've got 3. Well, it'll take 3 if it's whatever. Basically, I don't give a fuck. The show was just that boring. Triple H versus Snitsky starts off the gauntlet. Snitsky gets eliminated when he gets caught on the top rope in a very bad position for guys, and Triple H comes up and clotheslines him over the top rope. So that was the first one. The next opponent for Triple H is Mark Henry. Mark Henry gets eliminated after Triple H is leaning on the ropes, and how when they run at him, they pull down the ropes and it's over. So, but Mark Henry did do a lot of damage to Triple H. So when the third person's supposed to come out, William Regal notices that Triple H is pretty weak after taking on Sinensky and Mark Henry. So William Regal decides to call off the third opponent, and he wants to get in the ring and take on Triple H. Triple H just fucking hits his spinebuster and eliminates William Regal, so Triple H is now in the Royal Rumble match. That was all the matches. The only one I really cared about was the first one, like I said. This gauntlet match was alright. It was kind of cheesy, and we all knew the outcomes. So, we get to the big part, the main part of the show, the main event type this thing. Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton have been ordered to shake hands from Vince McMahon. Hardy goes on a fucking, respect rampage. He goes, looks at Randy Orton. I don't respect you enough to shake your hand. I'll shake, hold on, like this guy. Jim Ross, I'll shake his hand. The King, I'll shake his hand. He goes over the barricade and just goes around the crazy random fans and asks them their name, shakes their hands, and before he'll shake Randy Orton's hand, he gets back into the ring, and Randy Orton just extends his hand. Here comes Jeff Hardy, just like, nope, fucking twist of fate, and that was pretty much it. I mean, it was boring. There was nothing to note from this match. I don't want this to be, it's going to be a short review. There's nothing really to note from this. So the Royal Rumble episode of this Throwback Reviews will happen on Sunday morning. Before the actual Royal Rumble for 2017 happens, it will have the Throwback Rumble from 2008 review up. And, yeah, so don't watch this episode. Don't bother going back and watching this. This was shit. Reminding me a lot of what they put on nowadays, like Monday Night Raw we just had. Was shit. It was not worth watching at all. This was not worth watching at all. Except for the Shawn Michaels and Mr. Kennedy match. That was pretty good. I don't want to have this thing so short, so I don't know what else to say. It's going to have to be it. I do want to ask, though, the Royal Rumble match, they're going to have SmackDown matches in it as well. I know the matches we have announced for Raw are the Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton, then of course JBL and Chris Jericho, and then the Royal Rumble match. I believe the SmackDown matches on the Royal Rumble will be Edge and Rey Mysterio. There's going to be MVP and Ric Flair in another career-threatening match. So, I might just have to do the SmackDown parts of the show, since really it's not going to be that long. I feel like the Royal Rumble will probably take up an hour, so I can't wait until the JBL and Chris Jericho match and the Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton match. They've done a lot to really hype these matches up, so I like that about the show. So it's just the go-home shows. Nothing ever happens, and again today when I watch this, nothing ever happened. So I'll see you guys Sunday morning for the Royal Rumble 2008 review, and also Saturday for the NXT TakeOver review, and then Sunday night for the Royal Rumble 2017 review. Like, subscribe, and comment. I'm out. Thank you so much for watching.